Welcome back to Shapel's World. Today I have my guest, Mr. Riley Hawk. Everybody,
Hello.
how we doing?
Good.
Good, man. Dude,
Good.
I was literally just shot my shot and was like, I really want to talk to Riley Hawk. You know
That's
what I mean?
cool.
And I was just like, let me message him, DM,
Sick.
and you were cool enough to come all the way out here to
Yeah,
fucking
for sure. I was
Calabasas.
coming up here anyways, and then I think it just popped up because like I read now if you have like a blue check, it like goes to the top of people's messages or
Oh,
something.
really?
That's what I heard, and so like I think yours just popped right up there when I was looking at it one
Oh,
day.
damn. That
Yeah,
blue check mark
that's
works.
what I heard.
I knew
Yeah,
there was good for it.
right. Is that the only? Yeah, it's like the only thing I guess.
No, man. There's it's awesome to talk to you. You know, there's just there. I mean, there's so many things I would love to talk about. But I guess we'll just start it off with before we go into music, we'll start it off with just skateboarding in
Hmm.
general. Obviously, you didn't have to go to skateboarding, but
Yeah.
you went to it.
Hmm.
Obviously, that was an individual thought for yourself
Yeah.
amongst like yes your dad being the biggest skater in the world,
Hmm.
but that had to be, would you say that was an individual thought for yourself of wanting to just
Yeah, I think the professional side of it thing kind of was like still not a realistic like path
yeah
for me as like a younger kid slash teenager. It kind of like just evolved into that, but
yeah
I think it was just so the seed was planted so young with me even before my dad was who he was. When I was like 3, I was on a skateboard and he was still just at that point just like, a pro skateboarder who was trying to make it work in the 90s and trying to make money however he could. So it was like
yeah
already kind of there before he was who he was. So that was like I was kind of just already stuck with it. And then he turned into who he was and it was like, well, I still like to skate, so I guess
yeah
I'm just going to keep doing this.
it,
And it just helped that he's like, "You want to go to the skate park?" And he didn't, didn't have any weird stipulations against wanting to skateboard as like a kid who, especially back then, I feel like it was more, I don't know, like outcasted by parents, or it was like a bad
yeah the
kind of
skateboard
thing
yeah
to skateboard, or just that it was no there's no future in it or whatever. It was like, like a dumb sport to get into or whatever.
yeah because what you're 28, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm 34. Whew. Uh, yeah, because I think about a time, when I initially started skating at like 11, and I remember it was like this thing in school where teachers would always ask you, "Oh, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And
Yep.
they wanted this answer of like a doctor or a
Yep.
lawyer or some shit. And then I was like, "Oh, I want to be a professional skateboarder."
Totally.
But they were like, "Okay, but but what else?" Like it was
Yeah.
skateboarding wasn't seen as this thing of
No.
like, for someone to do and
Yep.
make, a career out
It
of
was
it.
like a hobby, if
Yeah,
at
it's just like
best.
a hobby. Yeah,
To
yeah,
add to
exactly.
those
Like,
kind of
oh, that's
people,
cute.
like one day, yeah, one
Get on
day
your
you'll have to give
skateboard.
that up, and then yeah,
Exactly. So it's
so
actually cool
interesting.
to see where skateboarding has evolved. And
Hmm.
I didn't know this. I didn't know you were amateur for Birdhouse. I actually
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was just that how it evolved, and my dad was just
Uh-huh.
like gave me skateboards, and I think it just I didn't maybe take myself seriously as much as I was getting the attention of what it was, and I think it was because the internet wasn't what it is now, and
Yeah.
it was a lot different coming up then as a skateboarder than it is now. Like there was
Mhm.
just such a separation of people's opinions and people's uh perceptions of what's going on versus reality, because now you can like feed it to yourself instantly if you look at your phone.
Yeah.
And so it was just different. I don't know, it's just kind of how it worked, and it was just easy.
Kind
And
of just molded. Yeah.
yeah, and my buddies rode for the company, and it was like fun getting to go on tours with my dad and stuff. And I don't know, I guess I was just naive to the fact that maybe people were like thought it was just because of my dad. I think I knew that that was like something people thought about, but I think at that point I was starting to skate well enough to where it was like, okay, I guess
You hold your own
he
weight.
could be on it, the company regardless, but he just is, circumstances is that he was who he is and his dad is who he is, so it kind
Yeah.
of worked out that way.
So when did it start to feel like for you were like, this is a serious thing for me?
I don't know. I guess maybe like when the dudes from Lakai brought me on some trips
Yeah.
and they were starting to take notice, and then just the yeah, I don't know. I was skating well and skating like to an ability that I felt was like worth. I mean, I was skating, how the other dudes on the team were skating that were getting on the company, like the amateur dudes, and it wasn't like I was like, oh, I'm better than anyone or whatever. It was just I was noticing that they were digging the way I was skating, and I felt confident in like the stuff I was doing, not necessarily saying that it was uh like confidence in that I was again better than anyone. I just felt that I knew what I could do and that I was going to
Yeah.
try and do that, and it just kind of evolved from there.
Yeah, because I mean, when I think about your career in skateboarding, like it feels super authentic, you
Mhm.
know, and it seems like it's like you've really set a you know a tone for yourself,
Mhm.
you know, and that's what's been really cool to look at, like, and it seems like you've done really well of clearing out like all outside stuff that would, you know, initially distract you or make you feel
Mhm.
weird about wanting to skate.
Yeah, I think I just yeah, I don't know. I guess I just tried to shut it off. And I think now in my later years, I'm realizing I'm sure you and anyone else in their later years, like that stuff starts to come back and and starts to
Yeah. And you're
take
like,
take a
damn,
mental
people were
hold
saying
on
that.
you.
People were
And
saying that about me.
yeah, or
Yeah.
just like, like you start talking about stuff or whatever, go to therapy and stuff like that, and you're like, damn, that stuff affected me more than I thought. But back then,
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't. I don't know. I was just a kid, and I was really like introverted and very quiet. I wouldn't say I was shy. I was just very. I think I was very aware of my surroundings at a very young age because of being constantly on the road with my dad and being around older people a lot
Yeah.
versus like people my age. And I think that that helped me to just kind of, I don't know, have a better understanding of how people work and how like
Yeah.
communication works and stuff. And I just kind of was more of like a listener versus like a speaker. So I guess I just would sit back, and if people said stuff bad about me, like, I don't know, I tried to just not take it
I
to
knew
heart.
why I fucking like this guy. I knew fucking why. Like I applaud that stuff. Like it catches a lot of people off guard, but I'm a lot more introverted as well and
Yeah.
prefer to just listen
Yeah.
and kind of just listening just helps dictate how I react
Totally.
to things.
Yeah. I would
And
much rather just be in the background of
yeah,
of like the scene in the movie or whatever,
yeah,
it equates
and
to.
totally
Yeah.
fine. You don't need to be the
Yeah, exactly.
to outshine, and you and it seems like you really let your work just, you know, speak for itself. You know, growing up, you know, and being a skateboarder, yeah, it's like, yeah, I knew about you, but
Mhm.
what really caught my attention with you is when you started skating for Baker,
Mhm.
and which Baker to me is like my like on the highest fucking throne. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just always
for sure,
loved
yeah.
that
It's
company,
just one of those companies,
one of those
yeah.
companies, and it was and for me as a kid, Baker was just a company that I just felt like I connected with the most
Mhm.
based off because it was like, oh, like, you know, this is like the rugged, the grit,
Yep.
you know, the raw.
It's like they're just homies
They're
and
just homies
yeah.
and they skate and they, you know, they do the damn thing. And I was like, yeah, like that's how I feel about
Yep.
skateboarding. That's what skateboarding makes me feel like when I would, you know, watch, you know, when I first saw Baker 2G, it was like
Mhm.
a fucking like, I mean, it took me to another level.
Yeah,
I
Revelations.
yeah, dude, like and you know, I was like, dude, I got to get my front side flips like Andrew Reynolds. You know what I
Yep,
mean? Like that was like a thing for me. And so
for
yeah,
sure.
when you got on the Baker, that's when I was like, holy shit, you know, like
Mhm.
it was like that's when I was like, it was a real deal
Yep.
to see you out there,
Yeah, it
man.
felt good. That felt good as like a check mark in life, I
Yeah,
guess, And I think it goes back to like you're saying about letting stuff like that get to you where people are like, "Oh, whatever, he's just on a company because of who his dad is or whatever," like the nepotism side of like letting that stuff kind
yeah,
of take a hold. But it was like when that happened, it kind of had that moment of like, well, I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks.
yeah,
If Reynolds is like down for me, then I must be like on the right track. It's kind of like it
exactly.
was kind of like that moment of like, well, I'm with this guy, so now
Yeah.
what can you say really?
See, you know, and I never believe that stuff. You know what I mean? Because like you're a rarity in the sense of
Mhm.
like your dad does this thing. You guys both skate
Yep.
and both do it at an elite level. Whereas like, you know, you could have started skating and just sucked.
Totally.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
in which like you see a lot of times where you do get, you know, these where it's like a parent, you know, who's an actor and then their, you know, their child wants to start acting or
Yeah.
whatever and they can suck and
Yeah.
not have a bad
If it just
career.
doesn't click, it doesn't click.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I never believe that. It's like you got to watch what the person is doing, and that's what I, you know, saw about you, I was like, oh, you got to watch what the fuck he's doing. Like he's
Yeah.
doing big shit and on a dope level.
Yeah, and I think
You know,
there's like a side of it that myself, I try to always just like really see what something is for what it is versus like no alternative like motive opinion about it. It's just like,
yeah,
if someone, I don't know, send me their album, I'd like listen to it and just be like, maybe if I didn't like it, I would just be like, oh, it's not for me. But
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna, I don't know, like people try to like go around everything they can to like not just like focus
Believe
on,
that.
or just like
Yeah,
take something for what it is and like actually try to, you know, digest it for what it is. There's always got to be some other thing, and I think that's just people just like their own personal issues where they're like
yeah,
frustrated about something in their life or whatever, mad because they didn't get hooked up. I don't know. There's always
yeah. It's
something,
always some weird.
There's
It
always
happens
something.
like in comedy too.
Always, I'm sure. Yeah. It's
Always
like
something
there's always
random,
something.
dumb like that. So I saw that you're on Baker,
Hmm.
and then obviously there's a big correlation when it comes to skateboarding and music.
Yep.
And I know one of the biggest things for me when I think about skateboarding and watching skate videos,
Yeah.
I'm always interested in what song
For sure.
a skater is skating to.
Yeah, it can make or
And
break.
I want to say on Bake and Destroy,
Hmm.
which was the first video you did with Baker,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
and you skated to Black Sabbath's Cornucopia.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I was like, okay, he likes Black Sabbath and
Yep.
stuff, which yeah, it's like it's Black Sabbath. But what really got me, Baker, Baker 4, you skated to one of my favorite Nirvana songs, which I think is one of the most underrated Nirvana songs.
Yeah, I do.
Radio Friendly Unit
Yep.
Shifter.
Yeah, I love that song a lot.
So like, yeah, let's talk about the music side.
Yeah,
Like,
for
'cause
sure.
obviously you have a passion for it. Having bands like Peter, and then
Mhm.
and your current band Warish.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did that come into play? Because that's another thing.
I think it was just from being like having a lot of free time, because when you're a skater, there is a lot of free time, especially if you're getting paid to do that as a profession. There's going to be a lot of downtime, especially if you get hurt. And there was like a stretch where I was getting hurt quite a bit. Like I was having these ankle issues. I had a couple surgeries, and it was just like back to back, like always something going on. So I just got a guitar, and I think it just came down to like I just always like to, I don't know, like challenge my brain, and the
Yeah.
guitar is one of those things. It's like skating or anything. It's just so hard that you can't just pick it up and do it, and that's kind of why I like got attached to it and hooked to it, and I just kept playing, and it just kind of was how anything starts. Like a couple of my buddies that played other instruments, we would just jam and dork around, and
Yeah,
yeah, just the band stuff just kind of like happened, and it was one of those things where I didn't pursue it as something like I don't want to be a rock star by any means. I just
Yeah.
like jamming with my homies, and some people liked it, some people didn't, and that's just like that's life in general. I was already used to that sort of like attention as far as people not liking something, liking it because of skateboarding. So it wasn't
Yeah.
like anything new where it
Yeah,
was
you're
like
not- you're not-
it
you're not
wasn't
seeing anything
shattering
new.
my my like motive to do it. I was just like, yeah, it's just how it goes. People
Yeah.
just like
So
stuff.
you've
that they
always
don't.
just been like, I'm gonna do what I want to fucking do.
Yeah, and I think more recently in the last year or two, it got to a point where I was getting frustrated with stuff that was going on like that, because it was just a certain point. I'm like, I'm not like a kid anymore. I'm just like almost 30, and I kind of don't really care to be chasing that limelight of people needing to be like, Tony Hawk's son's band does this or whatever. And it's like, I was just at a certain point, I was like, I get that's like how the internet works. People like
Yeah.
use stuff like that and whatever. But I thought it was, kind of funny, and at the same time, sometimes it would get to me and just have a bad day or something. And I think that's
Yeah.
why I don't use the internet too much, especially anymore, because I noticed that it just was easy for me to start my day in a bad mood if I was looking at something on the internet and someone, like they just say the most whatever, like entry level, like roast on you, like you're a kook or something. You're just
It's
like,
like
and then
it-
now my day's ruined. I'm like,
Yeah,
God damn it,
and
like
it's
this
'cause
dude's
it-
all like, someone doesn't like
Yeah.
me, but it's like I know that's going on, but when it's like a direct line, like they might as well just like write it on a post-it note and put it on my front door. Like it's the same thing. So I try to not really look at that stuff too much anymore.
Yeah.
It's
You
just like not healthy, I think, for me.
obviously going into playing music and being in bands, has it always been like stoner rock that you wanted to do, or that just happened to be?
That was just kind of, yeah, what I was into. Like that, our buddies have this band called Earthless from San Diego, and
Mhm.
they're like a 3-piece, just kind of jam band, and real like Hendrixy, but like real drawn out kind of spacey jams
Yeah.
and like that, and that was just something that's like in life. It was just an influential.
This is them right here.
Yeah, it was just
This
like
is
an
stuff.
influential moment in my teen years where like I found this band and I really dug the sound of it, and it was like sort of formulating this scene in San Diego
Okay.
that I was like around, and my buddies that were older were like friends with these guys, and so they were kind of around. And yeah, just being influenced as a teenager by sounds and bands that you really attach to, and you're like, this is something that I'm into. And so that's kind of where that stoner rock thing started, sort
Yeah.
of. Eventually I realized I was like, I'm not like a crazy jammy solo guy on the guitar. It was just fun to do that with my buddies, and so that just turned into more just like just playing with whoever, and kind of more like songwriting, like punk rock stuff or whatever it is,
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
rock and roll stuff, I guess. And it kind of evolves as anything in life. Skating, eventually it starts to change, and just
Mhm.
gotta like roll with whatever you're feeling, I guess, at that time.
I mean, I listened to both of the bands you did. You've only done Peter and Wars,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, I listened to both, and like it's all pretty damn solid.
No, thank you.
Like it's
Yeah.
not like, like you guys sound locked into your sound.
Yeah, it was, we jammed a lot, and we just kind of like liked what we liked as far as influences go. And that was like, especially for Peter, it was
Yeah.
just four friends just jamming. And that was like the first band I ever really played in. So
Mhm.
like, there's this weird thing with that whole situation, because your first band's not really supposed to get put on like a pedestal like that, because
Yeah.
you're just like, you don't know what the hell is going on, like
Uh-huh.
if I'm sure many people's first bands were the bands that they were recognized as for the rest of their life, they'd be
Yeah.
pretty bummed out. So luckily it's nothing too catastrophic. It's just us kind of jamming, and we didn't really know what we were doing, and that's what it is, I guess.
Before you guys created anything as far as like writing songs, you guys just jammed for a while.
Yeah, we would just
Yeah.
jam, just
And I
like
see that this
just
is
like
such so
buddy
smooth.
would put like, play the bass, just like a riff, and we would just kind of jam off that for like 20 minutes, and then it'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that part sounded cool. We should like turn that into a little song." I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, just fucking all
Yeah.
organic.
A lot of weed, a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
that
a lot
stuff going on. Yeah, exactly.
we don't have any here right now. I'm
I actually
sorry.
don't smoke anymore. It's like at
Oh,
this
you quit?
yeah, I haven't smoked in a while. A couple like I was like kind of smoking weed on and off, and the last time I did, actually, I had like a weird allergic reaction. I have like crazy allergies to all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
I have like an EpiPen and everything, and
Oh,
like I
shit.
like smoked, hit off a joint, and I just like got super itchy, and my eyes started getting puffy, and I was like, all right, I'm over it. Like,
And then
and it just got to a point where it was so, I don't know, it just flipped on me, like kind of in my mid to late 20s. It turned into more of like, yeah, I felt really paranoid, and it wasn't like, I don't know.
fun.
Yeah, it wasn't conducive to me like getting anything done or feeling good, and I was just like, I need to stop
Do you drink or
that.
anything?
Yeah, I drink, and
Yeah.
not as much anymore as I was drinking a lot more, and from like 23
You
to
seem so fucking well balanced.
26. Yeah,
He was like, "No, not anymore. I kinda just,
I think it has a lot to do with, like I said, like the growing up with who my dad is, and that stuff kind of like fast tracks your life in a way that's different than most people's. And
Mhm.
I think I was listening to some podcast about it, but there was like some study where it's like people who grow up in that generally don't make it past like 30, because like their life is just so, they're just so tweaked in the brain, and things are so strange. And I just one day I just was like, I need to make some
Yeah,
changes.
that's amazing. Like, like it seems like you have a very solid understanding of where you come from and how you've come
Yeah.
up, and you seem very alert to that.
Hmm.
Like, and like you said, yeah, like, you see a lot of those stories where, people,
Yeah. And it's
like
sad. It's super
it's
sad.
super sad.
Yeah.
Like, was there anything specific that like held you on? Because I mean, obviously, like, and that's just from the outsider's perspective.
Hmm.
Like, it seems like your relationship with you and your father is a
Hmm.
very good, relationship. But I mean,
Yeah.
but even at the same time, those people probably had good parents. It's just, I mean, they're in just that lifestyle,
Totally,
just
yeah, and I think the only thing that kind of made everything seem normal is that my dad's a very normal guy, and he's very, like, down to earth and very humble and very nice to anyone who he understands who he is, but he doesn't let it affect his ego or anything like that,
yeah.
like, he knows how to use who he is as, like, a tool for marketing and his livelihood and everything, but he doesn't, like, let it affect his day-to-day life, and so
Mhm.
I think that I always saw that, but I think like, being someone like me who's introverted and then that
Yeah.
attention already added on, it's just yeah, it's a lot for sure.
Which is like your level of like, I think there's levels to being an introvert. I have to be a little, a little out there because
Yeah,
stand up comedy.
totally.
But like yours is very, so like it's amazing that you actually are
Yeah.
sitting down here and having a conversation. But you speak really well.
Oh,
Like
thank you.
this is actually a really flowing conversation for how introverted you are. It wasn't like anything specific of like, I think you mentioned therapy. You go to therapy.
Yeah, yeah, I do,
Okay,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
have
I
you,
think it was more like in the last 2 years, I noticed that I was just drinking a lot, and I think that I was letting, like, drinking and not dealing with any of my stuff ruin, like, relationships with girls that I was dating or whatever, and there was just yeah, it's like cliche as it is, there's just like that pattern that's just happening, and I think I was just starting to get super like, depressed in a way where I was just like, this is I don't know, life's just not what I thought it was going to be kind of,
mhm.
and I think that has a lot to do with happens when people achieve these goals that they set out to do in life, especially at an early age. Like, I
Yeah.
turned pro when I was 21, and then, like, I don't know, it's kind of just like
Which is massive
what do you do
for a
after that?
21-year-old.
You
Yeah.
just kind of like where do you go from there? And yeah, so I just kind of told my parents I was like I need to I don't know, see like figure some stuff out, and had some talks with them that were uncomfortable. Just the stuff you have to do to kind of like
Yeah.
figure out what the hell is going, because my parents had me and they split up really like right away, so it's always been like mom dad on this side, so it was
Mhm.
just just normal like family shit that everyone goes through, and I guess when you have someone like my dad, maybe people's perception of like that stuff is different, where it's like it's all good, or maybe it's like it's all good, I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's just that everyone has
Yeah,
life
you never
stuff,
wanna
so
assume, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
totally. I think it helped me like yeah, understand me and someone else's situation are much more similar than I may think all the time, where it's just light like family dynamic is
Yeah.
weird.
But it's I mean, yeah, you're not one of those kids that just puts all that shit out there on the internet like that
Yeah,
in that
yeah. I'm
way,
not trying
to
to
where
start like a
yeah,
forum on
it's
my
like
Instagram. Yeah, it's not for
you're
me.
like, "I can't believe this happened to me," and
Yeah,
just
and
it's
and
like
I like
you deal with those feelings.
yeah, and nothing wrong with people that's however people
Yeah.
figure it out. That's their way of doing it. But yeah, I think like going back to the internet thing, I think I realized at one point too, I was just like nothing cool or good is happening that I see on this device anymore, and I just don't even care to look at it. Like, I'd rather live in the real world and not
Yeah.
be sucked into it, because I just like anyone, I would get sucked in, and next thing you know, I'm like reading a fucking argument between two people I don't even know, and
And
I'm
all of a
like,
sudden you're like deep into
why
that
am
fucking
I
argument.
looking at
Yeah.
this? Like, it's not even a subject I care about, and I'm
Mhm.
reading two like fake Instagram usernames argue about it.
Yeah.
But it's just what I don't know. Yeah,
It
it's
happens.
how our brain works, I guess.
Are you into stoicism?
I mean, no,
Okay. I was just curious
yeah,
because like you have a lot of the what is it
characteristics,
character you know what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Will you edit that part? No, you're gonna keep it in.
I know, that's what dude, these podcasts are dangerous. You can't slip
Yeah.
up, huh?
They're like Chappelle can't say that word.
Yeah. One 3-second soundbite can
I
just
know, and then
wreck
I'm gonna
you.
read the comment. I'm just kidding. No.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. Not only that, not only am I not taking it out, I'm marking it so we can use it.
That's the name of the episode.
Yeah. So you don't know anything about the world of like stoicism or
Not
anything like
really,
that?
no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know the term, but I wouldn't say I know any of the like actual like practicalness of it.
Yeah, it's something I fucking look at all the time because my girlfriend had got me into it, and
Hmm.
well, she was just like, she got on. She goes, "I feel like this matches you," and I just
Yep.
started reading up on it. I go, It actually does.
Yeah.
It's like where you basically, to narrow it down, I don't have like a solid definition
Yeah.
for it. I just read books here and there on it, but it's basically, just basically cutting out all the things you can't control
Yep.
and just controlling what is right in front of you.
Yep.
The things that you're able,
like your own ability to like prevent yourself from
yeah,
doing something that's out of your control kind
yes.
of. Yeah.
And I say that because it seems like you really got an understanding of like, well, I'm not in control over that. I kind of
Totally. Yeah, that's kind of where I've landed at this point where it's like,
yes.
that's out of my control. So why even? And my girlfriend's the same way, and that's really nice. She's like into, Buddhism and stuff, but not in a way where she's like
Oh, really?
practicing it and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the time. But she was just very fascinated by it, and she's like kind of the same way. We both are on the
Is
same
this the
level.
definition? Stoicism teaches the development of That was
See?
the development of self-control and fortitude as a means of overcoming destructive emotions.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a big one that I think that was my hardest thing is doing things to prevent myself from doing the destructive stuff that I would
Mhm.
go back to if I was like in a bad mood or like
Yeah.
frustrated or having a hard time, and then that just turns into a
Yeah.
chain reaction of stuff.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but you were saying about you and your girlfriend.
Mhm.
She practices.
She doesn't practice Buddhism, but she's really into it. I think at one point she was before we were dating, but now she just we have a very similar way of like that type of thing, like you said, like some stuff's just out of our control and just is what it is. So.
It just is what
yeah.
it is. This fucking guy. I knew it. I'm so glad I fucking reached out to him. I am so fucking glad. Yeah, dick haters if you said anything about him. No, I just think your story is very fascinating. Among many of things, and just it being, like I said, you're such a, like, to me, I like my outside perspective of you, just it is a rarity, a rarity, and then to watch you do the things that you do, and I feel like you do, like, especially with your music, I was like, oh, this is another level, another reason why, I just appreciate, what you put out there, because you seem to really do the things that you do. Now, so Warish is, you don't do Peter anymore. It's just Warish.
Yeah, just
now.
Warish. Yeah.
So it's just Warish. And so where do you have any idea of where you would like to take that? I know you said you didn't want to do the rock star thing.
I don't know.
Or
yeah, it's interesting you say that, because I just had a long talk with our label owner and like manager kind of. He does that Riding Easy Records. I don't know if you've heard of that, but we had a long talk because we just did a small run of shows that was from Arizona to Austin, and then we came back, and we're going back again out.
Just
recently,
Okay.
and we're going back out on the 13th to do some more shows. Yeah, I'm at a point in my life, especially with the shows and stuff, where I just don't want, I don't know, like the whole lifestyle of it is not intriguing to me in that way anymore, to where I like fall victim to like wanting to go party and be a part of that. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just so different. Like after the shows, I'm waking up early in the morning and like doing shit, and everyone's sleeping till noon, and then I'm like trying to get everyone to go. And I think a lot too, when I was like writing the songs with the early war stuff, I was like really frustrated with stuff, and the songs are kind of more in that vein. And now I'm like not really at that point in my life, so it's almost like weird, like like revisiting those songs kind of, and feeling like trying to be like angry in a way, I guess, but
and deliver that on stage.
Yeah,
that is a difference. Because when you think about it, because that was just a period of time.
Totally.
And then you go out there and do it, and we're like, damn, I don't really feel that way anymore.
Yeah, and at the same time, I do love it, but I think that I just hate the aspect of it being like a gimmicky thing, like I said, like about with my dad and the band stuff. And I talked to our manager, and I just said, hey, like, I'm down to do some shows, but I'd rather it just be like, just promoted like the band through the band, and maybe like smaller stuff, to where if people do like the music, they'll come see it, but it's not like kind of like a freak show, like side attraction thing, where it might as well just say my name on the flyer when it's like the way that they want to promote it, and I'm like,
oh, is that how they want to promote it?
Not him necessarily, but that's just kind of how the formula works, I feel like. And that's how a lot of people that maybe say they're an actor or whatever, a skateboarder or something, and they do another thing, that's kind of like how you play off of it, is you're like, well, it's this guy's band, not like, not the band. I don't know, so it's...
I mean...
I'd prefer if it was just...
That's all fair.
Yeah, I'd prefer if it was just the band, and, maybe smaller shows that are less like hyped up on the internet as like my band, I guess, in a way. I'd rather just be people, if people like the music is what like I just like making music, and so that's kind of what it's about. I don't go out and do the shows to like for the attention of myself. I think it's like opposite. I actually like kind of dread it in a way where I'm like shit, but then our label owner and manager kind of expresses like, well, dude, you're the guitarist and the singer. Like, what do you expect? And I'm like, I know, I kind of put myself in a fucking in a dumb situation here. So yeah, it's it's fun, and I think I'll
That's
definitely
amazing.
I definitely will keep
You're like,
keep
"Fuck."
making the music. But yeah, I don't know. I think getting older, and I just hate just. I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just like paranoia too, but at the same time, it's like not paranoia because that's what is on everyone's mind. So it's like a weird like, am I crazy? But I'm not
No,
crazy.
I mean, yeah,
Like,
because you're just trying to. I think I don't know if it's more so paranoia as you're just trying to find a strategic way
Yeah.
to handle the situation.
yeah, I just want it to seem like, I don't know, just authentic in a way to where people
Yeah.
are just like, oh, this is cool. It's just like whatever. It's maybe they just go and see the band or whatever.
Yeah, come see Warish.
Because there has been times where people see the band and then they recognize me after and had no idea that I was in the band, and that's like a cool situation. But at the same time, it's I don't know. I think I'm just over the whole using my name to promote that side of it, because I never cared about doing that anyways, and that's just how the
That's how it
the
fucking-
clickbait internet like formula machine works these days. So
Yeah.
it was kind of interesting because in skateboarding that wasn't really a part of it anymore. Like that was kind of long gone. Like this in the skateboard world, it was just like it was just my name like as who I was, and then getting into the music stuff, it was like restart. It was like Tony Hawk's Son's band. Like it was like, oh shit, now I have to go through this again and like do this whole thing. But it's kind of at a certain point, it's like funny in a way because it's just people. I don't know. People's perception of stuff can be interesting.
Where'd you guys play in Arizona?
Valley Bar.
Valley Bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I'm
was
from
cool.
Arizona.
Oh, cool.
Born and raised.
Oh,
Yeah.
right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I've been there before. It was for like a fundraiser show for a buddy of a friend's who had passed away, and I went there one time and they had a cool show and like all these different bands played. It was really rad.
Yeah, Arizona's. I always tell people Arizona's really good when it comes to like entertainment.
Yeah.
You know, because like there's not much to do there.
Yep.
You know, so like when something comes to town,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we all go like we had I don't know what it's like now because I haven't been in the punk scene in Arizona, but in Arizona like we have a really good had a really good punk scene. Like
you can tell there's scenes for sure.
Yeah,
like there's
that's
like
the thing, that's the thing to
death
do.
metal and like black metal and then punk and it's
Yep.
like I think it's just there's like a lot of artistic people there.
Yeah.
It seems, especially music wise.
I saw the Black Flag Bars logo tattoo.
yeah, I got that not that long ago actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Hell
like-
yeah,
like, I
you
think
finally
like
got one.
7 months ago or
I
something.
got one on my chest.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sorry, I had to point out the Rollins. I'm a Black Flag nerd.
Yeah, I love Black Flag. I must say,
What era?
I like the Keith Morris
Okay, solid era.
7-inch.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like what I first heard, and that like those dudes like it just felt like pure and like
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I like Damaged a lot too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Damage could be an acquired taste for people because Rollins is very intense.
yeah, no, I like Damaged. I mean, I have the record. I spent like $70 on the original, so I'd say I like it enough for
shit,
that.
for real?
Yeah, but it was
Okay.
like not like the first pressing. I think it was like
Oh, got
that
it.
era, like whatever from whatever
I
year
was
it
like,
came
you got
out.
the first pressing? Fuck.
No. There's like a cool record store in my area called Standards, and the dude who
Standards?
owns it is like
Look
huge.
that up because I need to go there when I'm there.
He's a huge punk dude. From what I've heard, he has a crazy punk collection, but he has a really cool like t-shirt wall. But he has tons of the guy's name's Colin. He has tons of good punk stuff, and yeah, that's
Okay.
it. And when we did the Warish first 7-inch, that he always does like puts records he likes on the wall. And I went in one day and it was on the wall, and I was like, yes, if that guy
Damn.
likes it, then
Yeah, that's good.
then I'm on
He-
the
he's
right
like
track.
the, not the plug. What do you call it?
Yeah, he just-
Cosign.
yeah,
Yeah, he's like
I
the
felt good.
cosign.
He was like when Reynolds hit me up, I was like, same kind of thing. You're just like, yes,
Yeah.
that guy. That's
Oh
the only
yeah,
one I care about.
You know, that's got to be a dope thing too. Like to
Mhm.
have, someone like Andrew Reynolds
Mhm.
hit you up because that's he's like my my favorite skater.
Totally,
you
yeah.
know? And I remember I ran into him. I sometimes I'll see the Baker dudes some of the bigger, like the younger cats, like Cater
Yeah.
and all that. I'll see them skating Hollywood High School.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think some of them live like in the valley. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, so probably not far from
Yeah,
here.
I'll see them
honestly.
skating Hollywood High School and shit, and I'm like, damn, that's fucking dope. I don't skate the way I used to. I'm not. I mean, I still got my kickflip.
Yeah. No, it gets real when you get a little older. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And I was like,
"Shit."
you know what, man? I was like, I'm getting too big. You know, I work out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
I was
lot of
like, it's
weight.
not
When
the
a
s-
lot
it's
of
not the
weight comes
same.
down, it's different.
I
Yeah.
skate at 8'5".
Yeah, I skate at 8'6".
Oh, you skate 8'6"?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Cater skates like a 9. He has like a little, it's like a 9 and he wears like 60 millimeter wheels, I think.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he's a psycho.
Damn.
Him and T-Funk, they're crazy. They skate huge board. They look like boogie boards or
Yeah.
something. But
He's been another person that I've been like paying attention to like since like I think Reynolds like first showed him or whatever. I was like, damn, it's cool watching him.
Cater or T-Funk?
Cater, sorry.
Yeah,
Cater.
yeah.
It's been cool watching him grow.
Yeah.
And he's just been kicking
Yeah,
ass.
kids love Cater. He's like the new poster child of skating. It seems
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's fucking all of it's dope to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still skate Baker. I have a Death Wish right now, but I
Yep.
still
Yeah, I'll
I
skate
still-
Death Wish board sometimes.
Yeah, I'll skate. I mean, that's just like that's just the brand. For
Yeah,
me.
yeah. It's funny now because Birdhouse is a part of Baker Boys.
Really?
Like they distribute it now, so I can I'll ride Birdhouse boards too now. So
That's
it's like it's pretty full
amazing.
circle, yeah.
Yeah, and you go to that. Where's that? Don't you guys have like a
Baker, yeah. The
The
Baker warehouse has like a little
warehouse.
park, yeah.
damn?
Yeah.
One,
I don't go there that much because it's kind
one
of far
day.
for
Yeah,
me.
it's a stretch for you.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
I'm ever going there, I'll hit you up and then we go go skate it. See Cater in action. Yeah, but sometimes they have a bunch of boxes.
You're gonna edit out me doing the. No, are you gonna
Sometimes
keep
they
it?
have a bunch of shit just stored in there, like boxes and stuff.
Oh,
So
really?
sometimes it's not skatable, but for the most part, I think it
For the most
usually is,
part.
yeah.
Damn, I just geeked out. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's a fun park.
I hate that I'm going to ask this question because I'm not supposed to till I do a 100th episode.
Mhm.
You an Oasis fan?
Oasis? I mean, I think by nature you it's just in your DNA as a
I like how he's
90s
carefully
kid to
answering this.
to like the songs, but I wouldn't say I dislike Oasis in any
Okay.
way. I don't put them on, but
I'm trying to find your range. I know that's the only reason why I asked that because obviously we can go all day about Black Flag and
yeah. No, I
Sabbath
go
and-
into
yeah.
I go into much other stuff.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, for sure. I like all the kind of 90s, almost more into the shoegaziness sort of
yeah.
that realm. And I mean, Oasis is definitely
Yeah.
a great band, I would say.
Yeah, shoegaze and stoner, like as far as
Yeah.
guitar sounds.
For sure. There's
shoegaze, I
a
guess.
connection there.
Yeah, the guitar sounds for obviously stoner is just harder.
Hmm.
It's just probably just
Yeah.
heavier tuning. What? Is
that for me?
That is for you. What's the most
Hmm.
embarrassing song in your playlist right now?
I gotta think.
I'll
'Cause
go
it-
first.
yeah.
Sixpence None the Richer, Barely Breathe, or
Um,
Breathe. It's called Breathe.
Breathe.
Mm-hmm. Or
I was
Barely
just-
Breathe, or something like that.
I don't think it's embarrassing necessarily, but it's one that it was funny. Me and my girlfriend went to Disneyland yesterday for Halloween, and I was humming it all day, and I was like, God, I got this song stuck in my head so bad. And it's that song, Teardrop by Massive Attack. Ronnie Mullen skated to it in the Almost video.
Oh, wow.
And it's
damn.
I don't know if it's embarrassing, but that one's kind of
Play that
I
one.
don't know. It was just stuck in my head for some reason. I think it's a good song. I mean, fuck, I'll go Green Day Dookie all day.
Oh,
that's
a
probably
solid
embarrassing to
record.
some people, but for me, I love that's 6th grade for me.
I even hate.
This is like the Grey's Anatomy intro or something.
Totally.
Oh, is
yeah.
it?
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
It's all moody and 90s,
I
yeah.
don't know if I know this one. Am I gonna know it?
It's pretty. Yeah, it's definitely pretty well known.
Oh, what a song to get stuck in your head.
Weird, right? I know. She's like, "Did you
At
watch that skate
Disneyland.
video recently?" I was like, "No, I don't." It just fucking popped into my head.
That's fucking hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some of the Green Day stuff. People some people, but I think everyone secretly likes it. But they're
Dude, I'll say right now, I love Dookie.
Yeah,
I love
no,
that fucking record.
It just reminds me of like in 6th grade, this kid showed it to me. Or I was in 5th grade, he showed it to me. He was in 6th grade.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, this is sick. I mean, but I was lucky enough to where my dad's games were coming out when I was like 7. And so like I was listening to like Motorhead and Jane's Addiction and you know, Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that. Like Jane's Addiction, I think is my dad told me that's his favorite band.
Oh,
so
amazing.
I would hear that a lot growing up. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were exposed to like a lot of great.
And my dad was
music.
always really into like a lot of like 80s new wave stuff, and he was into a lot of hip hop stuff. Like he knew a lot of like kind of cutty like hip hop stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like growing up. It's really funny. There's a picture of my mom and Tupac, and they were at like this they were at like the music video awards or something, and it was way before Tupac was like who Tupac was. But my dad somehow knew who he was because he was into like kind of hip hop and, you know, rap and stuff. And he was like, oh, it's Tupac. Like, it was just like they were backstage, like, oh, like, will you take a picture with my wife? And my mom was there, and he was just like, yeah, sure. And it's just like he looks so young. It's a funny picture. But it's just kind of like a testament to like he knew what he knew about hip hop back then. He was like onto it.
Do you get into any hip hop?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say I'm like knowledgeable, but I dig a lot of hip hop, and I dig like my buddies are big into it. Like a lot of my buddies were super into Wu-Tang growing up, and so I would just hear like Wu-Tang like you know, on repeat. And I mean, I was a big Beastie Boys fan, and I don't know what that category falls into, but
what's so funny, you know what I always associate Baker with, like as far as like when I think of rappers, Andre Nickatina.
Yeah.
I feel like for some reason, I don't know if it's like a thing
and
with
like
Baker.
3 6 Mafia.
Yeah,
too.
3 6 Mafia. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a thing with Baker where it's like we fuck with.
I think I like know a lot of the hip hop songs that were used in like those OG skate videos, because like that's why I feel like if you're a skater as a kid, like you're so lucky because you're turned on to like such good music.
Extremely lucky
when you're super young, and it definitely like helps shape what kind of music you're into.
Yeah, I remember when I saw Reynolds skate to I always forget the group's name, but it's the Crimson and Clovers song.
Oh yeah. What version is that?
Gosh, it's an older group. You know what I'm talking about? Over and over, Crimson and
But it's
Clover.
like a weird version.
Yeah,
is it that?
Which
Tommy James and the
It might be that one. I think
that's on Baker 2G maybe. But you know what? Reynolds always skates like 2 songs.
Yeah,
because his part's so long.
Yeah, I remember though. I always thought that song he skates to in Baker 3 is different songs, but once I got into Roxy Music, I learned that song is just one song.
That's just one song.
Yeah, because Roxy Music's always like a strange. That's a band that I really really like. Actually, is Roxy Music is like a big influence, not musically on me, but just I don't know, their whole thing was just cool.
Wait, there's two versions of this?
I think there's a lot of different versions. I know I think like Joan Jett did one or something, and like this is the version he skates to.
It's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's a good part.
Yeah, that part's insane.
Yeah.
I never got my frontside flips as big as his, but
I don't think. Yeah, me.
but I sure as hell did.
Yeah,
man.
It's hard. That's a hard feat to
so
accomplish.
So you're about to hit the road again. Are you guys doing like a full on tour, or just kind of?
It's through Denver, then through like Salt Lake, and then the coast and back down. And we're doing it with our buddies, this band called Death Chant. They're from LA. They're like on the same label as us. Yeah, and they're real heavy, more like, you know, and like kind of the Thin Lizzy kind of more, I don't know, like doomier Thin Lizzy type vibe. But they're really rad.
I gotta see you live, man.
Yeah, definitely. We're playing in LA at the Echo with them at the end of it.
What is that?
I think it's the 27th or something. Or 26th, something like that. 28th or somewhere in those days.
Hopefully the 28th.
Yeah, somewhere in those days.
Because I go on the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I go to Everett, Washington with Brendan.
You guys doing comedy stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
comedy.
I gotta come. Well, then I have to come.
I know he's only been to one comedy show.
One comedy show, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember?
It's funny because I was in Austin on a skate trip, and me and my buddy were there, and we saw that Shapel and Rogan were doing those.
Oh, that was your first comedy show?
That was my first one, so I'm like, it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, you don't need to see me.
But
you don't need to fucking what?
But it was funny because that whole night was just hilarious. It was like during COVID, and it just started off as one of those nights where I think Joe Rogan, my dad messaged him and asked if he could get 2 tickets. Then he's like, cool, I got your son and +1 or whatever.
Oh yeah, because your dad did his.
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
just right before that. So it was like fresh, I guess, in his memory. But then we got there and there was a will call, and we're like, I think there's 2 tickets. Or we're like, where's the will call? And there's like, there's no will call. And we're like, okay, great start. Here we go. And then they're like, who's? I was like, gave him my name, and they were like, oh, we don't see it. Whose name is it under? I'm like, Joe Rogan. They're like, the lady was just like, hold on a second, like walked away, and just like she just thought we were just probably the biggest like burners trying to sneak in there. And then eventually we made it in, but it was one of those things where I was like, we're not getting in. There's no like something's bad's gonna happen, and we're gonna
damn. That
screwed.
Was a show to see. Oh, it was like when they were doing it at like
it was at Stubbs. Yeah, it was
Stubbs.
really cool.
Went to one of those nights.
Yep. Yeah. Me and my buddy, we both had like a little bit of acid, and we ate it before too. So it was extra heightened. But we waited to make sure we got into the show because we were like, they were doing COVID tests, and we were like, if we take this and find out we have COVID, we're gonna have the worst night of our life. Like we're gonna have to go sit somewhere. On acid. Yeah, just like stare at each other in a room. But it was pretty funny. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. It was rad. It was like outdoor too. It was just such a weird setting that it was probably like never something like that'll happen again where I get to see a show like that. So it was pretty cool.
Well then, yeah. So what do you need to see me for?
Because I enjoyed it, and I was like, damn, I want to go to more. But that one was just that was such a like otherworldly thing where it was like we were like 40 feet away from Shapel and Joe Rogan, and we were just like,
oh shit, you guys had good seats.
We were pretty close, yeah.
Oh damn.
But there was 2 people at the table that we didn't know. It was like a shared table because you had to like buy a whole table.
Yeah,
it was like a weird.
That's how they were doing it. Yeah,
but it was really rad. I mean, it was bizarre for sure, and it was cool that they like take your phone and put it in the bag, and you can't like film. It just made it feel more like
fucking best.
It just made it feel more like I don't know. We were more in tune with the whole thing.
I think bands. I don't know. Maybe I heard it through the grapevine, but I think bands are. A certain band was trying to like or did that as well, where it's like you just locked it because it's like I mean, just enjoy the fucking what you're watching right there.
I heard on Theo Von's podcast he was saying that Pete Davidson does a thing where you have to sign like an NDA.
Saying you can't talk about the
like you can't say anything online about it, or else like you will get we have rights to sue you type thing, because then like no one can go online and be like, so and so said this or whatever. I guess they can talk about it in person.
I'm not at that level yet, but eventually I'll do that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
meanwhile, I don't even say anything crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's nice though to know that like no one's gonna go and just like wreck you on the internet over like maybe something that they didn't agree with or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all a joke, and it's all. I mean, when people take offense to anything we say on stage, it's usually like they pick and choose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's like because we talk shit about so much.
Yeah,
within a time span of 50 minutes or being an hour being on stage.
Yeah,
there's so much shit talking about things. There's one thing, and it's like, well, why aren't you mad about that? Like that's
I think I just going back to what we were talking about earlier. It's like if I don't think something's funny or I think it's like inappropriate or whatever, I'm just like, okay, well, that's just not for me.
Like whatever,
it's just not for me. Yeah, I don't know.
You.
Like the whole thing of like trying to ruin someone's whole thing because they made a mistake one time just is pretty bizarre to me.
I always say this: I'll never understand why people pay attention to things they don't like.
Totally, yeah.
It's like, oh, you're ruining your fucking day.
Totally.
Like, if you don't like it.
I mean, it's like my girlfriend said once to me, she was like, we're talking about that, and she's like, well, it's like that saying, hurt people. And I was like, it's like the most truest thing I've ever heard. Like,
you motherfuckers can't hurt me. I don't know where the camera's at. Oh,
but yeah, like if someone's in someone's in a good place mentally, they're not gonna go and lash out at someone. So I think it all
you have no desire
stems from
to.
people who are already like bugged out about something. I don't know, but
you were talking about acid. Do it quite a bit.
I have in my past, but not really anymore.
Oh, not. Oh, yeah. You're at the not really anymore.
But, I mean, it would if it was like a fun situation or whatever. Honestly, at this point, I think I'd rather do that than smoke weed. I feel like I'm more in control than.
I bring up acid because I've always been curious about it, but I'm so terrified.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it just depends on. I don't know how. But
I hear you're not supposed to be terrified to do it, because if you do it when you're terrified, then your trip is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really had like a bad experience, but that's just me personally.
Yeah.
But I think it's because I'm I'm the kind of person that if I'm like freaking out and mentally, I can just be like, oh, you took that drug, you idiot. That's why you're freaking out. And then I'm like, oh yeah, okay. All right, whatever. Like, as long as I'm not like, hyperventilating or like something like that, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like I can just
Yeah.
like mentally
Bro,
check
I love how
myself.
well you fucking handle yourself. You're like, what is fucking.
Yeah. Honestly,
You're here.
I feel like honestly, it's a drug that's like easier to maintain yourself on if you're like in heightened scenarios and like you're in like a crazy environment. It's like when you're alone and you're like on it, that's when you start really
you're
like
kind of in your thoughts.
yeah, then you're in your thoughts and you're like going all over the place, I guess. But
And you said you prefer that over weed.
well, I'm saying at this point in my life, I
this
think
point,
I would
yeah.
rather like do that if I was gonna be like, hey, we're gonna go do this thing. You can either smoke weed or take acid. Which would you do? I'd
Yeah.
be like, probably the acid, because weed's gonna make me just like paranoid as fuck.
Whereas the acid just like.
Yeah, I don't know. At least you're just like, I don't know, in a different. It's such a different thing, I think, than people experience. But at the same time, I feel like if you take a lot, yeah, you're gonna
I would never
go
take
crazy.
A lot. I don't take a lot of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah,
listen,
everything in
three
moderation.
hits of a joint right before I go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's like it's just a strange experience. I don't see it as like a drug for myself that is like harmful or anything like that. And that was just my experience with it. It was just something that was like, I'm gonna see what this is all about.
Yeah.
It
It was actually Joe Rogan that guided me back helped guide me back to smoking. Because when I did it before, like when I was younger, like early 20s, what Rogan had figured out and helped me understand, he goes, oh, you're smoking with people that smoke all the time.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to do that same amount.
Totally, yeah.
Like I remember my friends, they had this bong that was like this tall.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I hit that and like cleared it, because I was like, oh, you got to get rid of all the smoke. Dude.
Dunzo.
Oh, I was donezo.
Yeah.
I puked. I tried to walk home. I was like a 30-minute drive like home.
Yeah.
But I tried to walk home instead because I was like, I'm not getting in my car.
Yeah, like it's not happening.
I started puking. My adopted father had to come get me. He's a strong Christian man. And
oh God.
And I was just like, hey, man.
Might as well have been like smoking
meth. I was like, hey. I tried to take my pants off in the middle of the street. Like, yeah. It wasn't. And then I called my friend because I was like,
Meanwhile, they're sitting there playing like NBA 2K.
Yeah, they're just
what
chilling.
The fuck is this dude doing?
And so I called them up because my adopted father, he was like, you need to call him and see if it was laced. And I was
God, yeah.
I didn't want to call him because I was like, it's not laced.
Like I can't be that dude. I can't be that kid.
I can't be that dude.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you don't know. You're acting a little crazy. You need to call him.
But see, that's why weed's crazy. Like, so you'll in your head, you're like, you're right. Like there might have been something in that. And really, it's just like weed is.
It was just
pretty
weed,
crazy
and I called him up.
Experience.
I just shout out to my homie Josh Lerdeque. I called him up and I was like, man, what's that? I was like, what's the weed laced? And he was like,
hypothetically.
Yeah, he goes, man, drink some water and go to sleep. And then hung up. And I was like, yep, as I should fucking.
It makes you paranoid.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's a different fucking level.
But
I don't think acid would make me want to take my pants off.
Yeah,
it was like this weird thing. I felt like my pants were weighing me down.
Well, because you hear the horror stories, of like smoke weed or acid, and then you think you can fly or whatever. It's just it's there's some basis of all that stuff, I'm sure, but I guess for me, the weed just got to where it was starting to turn on me, and I was like, why am I even doing this? Like, I'm not even enjoying it anymore. Why even do it?
I'm gonna just try a small of a tab.
Yeah, and I never smoked cigarettes, so it just depends, I guess. It can go for a while, 10, 11 hours if you're like. You're still like where you're just like you're not out of your mind, but you still kind of feel you still feel it.
10, 11 hours. I was thinking like a 11-minute trip.
Yeah, I think that's a different drug, but yeah. But yeah,
so peyote or whatever. There's one drug that's like
DMT.
Oh, DMT. That's the one that's like.
I've
really
never
quick.
done that, but I've seen people.
Would you do it?
Maybe if I was in the right environment. I think that one you really need to be in like. Because the one time I saw people doing it was we were at this festival in Holland, and there was like an after party like house thing, and there was like a room where people were doing it, and I watched my buddy. hit the DMT pen, and I feel like people see DMT as like this, it's supposed to be this really
Yeah.
spiritual guidance thing, and he like rips it and he just goes into space, and then there's like people partying. You hear this guy just like, fuck you, lick my balls or something in the background, and my buddy's just like sitting there. I'm like, that is exactly the last
No.
type of situation I would ever
I would
want.
imagine you have to be like in a room and just
Yeah,
like
I know people do with like shamans and stuff like that, where you
no,
like
that's that other shit, isn't it?
get guided or whatever.
The ayahuasca,
Oh yeah, I've never done
where that shit
yeah.
that makes you shit. Have you seen it? Have you heard of that one,
Yeah.
Casey?
I think you're going real. You get vulnerable in that state.
It makes you shit and piss yourself. Yo,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you puke a
Yeah.
lot. I don't.
all the
yeah.
above when it comes to that snot.
I know. Yeah, I know people that
puke.
have gone down that road, but it just didn't seem. I think people do that one a lot too to like help with mental stuff, and I think I was like, I'm gonna take the more like the other.
You're like, I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna take the other approach and like do the long term, talk it out, because I think
Yeah.
that's like people do that and they get like some sort of fast tracked like therapeutic experience. But I was like, I'm just gonna.
That
go
don't
the
sound
other
like
way.
therapy to me.
Yeah.
Listen, I've had 3 different anger management teachers. None of them made me puke
Yeah.
or shit my pants.
Yeah.
None of them.
No, take your pants off.
Yeah, no, not take my pants off. None of that shit. I didn't need a shaman to guide me through
Yeah.
anger management class or anything like that. No, that's
Yeah.
not therapy. It's fucking insane is what it is.
Yeah, it's drugs.
Yeah, that's drugs. So Riley and I are gonna do we're gonna close out by making a playlist together of like just dope songs. I try to do a playlist with like every
Cool.
guest. I didn't do it with Matt Helders. Don't be mad. Next time you come on, we'll do it. But I like to close out and make like a dope playlist of
Sick.
songs
That's smart.
for people. So I put the 2 from
That I
your
skated
parts
to.
that you skated to that I saw, and we're gonna put the song that you had in your head. What
yeah.
was it? Massive Attack.
Yeah, that's a wild card one on there, but I like it.
Yeah, we'll do that one. But since we have a Black Sabbath on there, I'll do one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs. I'll do "Hole in the Sky." Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, me too.
Dun-dun-dun.
It's funny because I always had that on my like before I bought the record. I always wondered why the song just stopped. I thought it was like something to do with my like the digital version I had, but it actually just stops like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of sick that they just like ended it. Like, fuck it.
Let's see. So yeah, I'll do that one. We'll do like make it like a 10-12 song playlist.
10, 12.
All right. What do you got?
Should do.
It could be any song. It doesn't have to be.
Let's think. Let's see on the wall. What do we got on here? What do we have? I saw. Oh, it's Mudhoney. I mean, there's maybe just "Touch Me, I'm Sick." That's
okay.
probably like
We'll do Mudhoney.
the first song that always comes to my head. Probably because it's the most popular.
That's a good one. Mudhoney's one word. I know. Why would I be technical to you like that? I'm sorry. And then I'll do. Since we were talking Black Flag, which Black Flag song would I do? I'll do Ron Reyes' version of Revenge. Yeah, we'll do Black Flag Revenge.
Do they have any recorded stuff with Mike V as the singer?
I think the most recent album.
Is it him?
Yeah,
that's crazy that he's.
Yeah, I almost like. I would
There's
always forget
so
about
many
that.
different formations of that band.
So many.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Greg Ginn's been the one the whole time.
Yeah, he's the OG. He makes me want that guitar. I forget what guitar that is. The S,
I ran into that guitar. It's
SL. Is it like starts with the S or something?
Yeah.
I
What the
forget.
fuck is that guitar?
But yeah, he always looks so
He
tough.
donated it to
oh really?
The thing in Seattle, the museum of
Is it?
Fuck. It's like the museum of like pop culture, I think is what
Oh, that's cool.
what it's called. Yeah, but his guitar's in there. It's pretty fucking dope.
That's dope. What else? Let's see what else we got on here.
We got Bad Brains, Misfits.
Oh, we got Addicts. I like the Addicts a lot.
Okay.
Maybe Smart Alex. I like that song.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that record.
Let's do that one. And I'll give another Addicts song because I like the Addicts as well. I'll do Johnny Was a Soldier. It's a good one.
I never have seen the Addicts. I would like to see them.
Everyone, I've heard from quite a few people that they're an explosive band on stage.
Yeah, there's that like live, I think it's like Super 8 footage of them where they're like playing in a courtyard before, like just like kicking a ball around, and then it's like them playing, I think Viva la Revolution, and
yeah.
it's really, I mean, it just looked insane, especially
Yeah.
back then and like their peak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kevin Staub is actually good buddies with him,
Really?
with the dude, yeah, with Monkey.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they like he always goes and sees him, and like they like kick it all the time. Yeah, super random.
So
Yeah, because Kevin
random.
Staub was like, you know, he was like OG punker
Yeah.
dude. So
That's so
yeah,
random.
super random.
That's what I love. That's what I love about. I mean, even look. I mean, look what comedy, like, you know, me doing
Yep.
comedy,
Yeah,
you know, links me to you. I just love the fucking
freelance.
when worlds collide. Oh, you're right. You don't
Yeah,
have
who
to put
sings
that
that
one on
song?
that.
Actually, I had that stuck in my
You
head
wanna,
the other day.
you want to do that one?
No, I was just saying who
Oh.
sings it. I mean, hey, that
He's
could
like,
be
"No,
that could be
no,
an
no."
embarrassing song on the playlist.
Yeah,
no, because I was watching
Power Man 5000.
I was watching Little Nicky the other night, and that's songs in there like when I think it's when like Hell's
I've never
coming
seen
up.
Little Nicky.
Really?
Everyone
Oh
says
my
that when I say
God.
that. I know.
That's a really good one. Yeah. That his face. It's on like Netflix or something right now.
Oh, it is?
I think
Oh,
they
okay.
think that's
All right,
why
man,
I watched
I'll take the time
it.
to do it. I'll do it.
Yeah,
do
the
it.
dudes, the two dudes that are always in, I don't know their names, but
that are always in his movies.
always in his movies are like the two rocker dudes are the best in that movie.
Is was it Rob Schneider?
No, he is in that movie though.
Oh,
He's
Steve Buscemi. He
no,
does a lot
it's
of
what's his name? Dante and Grandma's
and
Boy.
Grandma's Boy. That
Yeah.
guy. That guy. Yeah.
And
It's
then
the other guy who always acts like.
yeah.
Like, you know,
It's
one-
the other guy who's the gay guy in Big Daddy.
Oh, fuck.
And
what's
he's
his
in
name?
like Waterboy too. He's one of the football players.
I've never seen Waterboy.
Really? You're just not an Adam Sandler movie kind of guy then.
No,
huh?
I've seen some Adam Sandler. I've seen Big Daddy. It's gonna bug me who
Yeah,
you're talking
I
about.
know.
Jonathan Lou Grain. This guy.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's in Little Nicky too.
Really? I've never seen that guy in my life.
He looks different there than he looked in that era for sure. Yeah, that song I think is in Little Nicky if I'm not mistaken.
This is a funny song. Not a
Very
funny
right.
song if you guys are listeners. Power Man 5000.
It's something. It's
Yeah,
a song.
It's a song.
Yeah.
It gets people hyped.
It does.
You know what? Fuck it. We'll add it.
It's got a time and a
we
place
talked about it. Yeah, it's got a time and a place.
for sure.
But it's gonna be on that playlist. I'll tell you that much. So we'll do Power Man 5000.
hmm
Let's see what else. If we look at that Reading Festival 1992, there's a lot on there.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that that whole lineup before.
Yeah, I think there's like L7 on there, Pavement, Nick Cave. Who else is on there?
PJ Harvey. I didn't really know who she was till my girlfriend showed me PJ Harvey, but I like PJ Harvey a lot.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
I don't. You know, I actually never.
she's dope.
I never listened to PJ Harvey.
I didn't either till my girlfriend
Okay.
showed it to me. So no,
Pretty good?
No
Yeah?
shame there. Yeah, she's rad.
I know
yeah.
she's done like a lot of shit with like Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, like I know
I've been
she-
listening to that record a lot actually. The first
one?
Queens record.
Dude,
That
I
song,
love that record.
That song, "Regular John," is really. I was actually trying. It's funny because I was like thinking about trying to use that song for a skate video part, but they used a minute of it in the old. Remember that audio video, "One Step Beyond."
Yeah.
That dude Nate Broussard skated to like
Skated to
a
it.
minute of it, but I was like, I don't think that counts. I think you gotta give the song. But
think you
nowadays,
should
if
do
I
it.
use that, most of the kids who would be watching it have never even heard of One Step Beyond, so it doesn't
Exactly.
even matter. Yeah.
So that's like a deep cut of a
Yeah,
record.
and it is funny. Me and my buddies talk about that. How like movies will use the same song fucking a million times, but in skate videos, it's like such a sacred thing where it's like it's my song.
Yeah, it's your song. And I already
I
skated to
skated
it.
to it. Yeah,
You should do it.
we'll see.
You should do. I mean, there's a lot of great songs.
that
on
record,
that record.
yeah, that record. Has
Are
a
you
lot of
working
good
on a new
songs.
part right now
Yeah, I've been filming a bit. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
for Lakai or
Just
Baker?
kind of Lakai's doing this little video that is like kind of a couple parts and stuff, and they have like a little montage, but I have a part for that's been done for a little bit, and then I've been filming just like a Baker, I don't know, something. Hopefully me and Figgy have been talking about trying to do something, so
Love Figgy.
yeah, he's a beast.
I
He's a
love
machine.
Figgy.
Yeah,
I think the first time I saw Figgy was the America video.
he's a monster. Yeah.
Insane.
Did you watch the new America video?
No, I haven't
There's a
seen it yet.
new one. Yeah.
I know you did.
Yeah, there's a new
Sorry,
one,
Casey.
and he there's a slam that he takes in that video and just gets up and just
He
walks
takes
away, and it's just
some
like, oh,
slams.
it's brutal. You could probably pull it up. We should show it to him live right here.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal, and he just gets up and just takes it on the chin like a champ. But this video is really good. Yeah, John Miner, who does all their stuff, like he's an epic like editor, filmer, and he did this one. I don't know how far in the slam is, but it's fucking brutal.
What was he going for?
He's trying to nose grind this rail, I think. But I mean, a good slam, I feel like, is almost better than a clip sometimes because it just looks so gnarly. And this one especially, it's about as bad as you can get. I think it's like,
Especially if you follow it up with the make. It's like
yeah.
drama to the
I don't think he made. I think he walked away from that one after that slam.
Oh, he didn't go for it.
I don't
again?
think so. It was bad.
Oh, is that fucking bad? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen him take some slams.
yeah,
dude.
he's a beast. I don't know. I think it's
Wait,
coming up
no,
here
type
in a
in-
second.
Type in America. Type in Figgy, so it goes to his part specifically.
This is like the whole video is like a shared thing, which is kind of cool the way they did it. But
Mhm.
but yeah, it'll come up eventually, and then. But you should watch this video. It's really fucking sick. They did a good job. They used a sleep song in the intro.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. You like Sleep?
I actually didn't really listen to Sleep.
Sleep's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, Matt Pike. You like High on Fire?
never listened to High on Fire.
Yeah, it's
either.
like it's like Matt
Bro,
Pike.
you're throwing some ones
if you
at
like
me.
if you like Matt Pike, then it's like
People bring
that's-
up anything. I'll throw one at you. You listen to Oasis? Just kidding.
Yeah. I've heard of him.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I think
The guy with the bucket hat.
Yeah. Are they more doom? You know,
Yeah,
like-
Oasis. It's like one of those ironic names. They're like,
He just
Death
5-0
metal
that
band.
fucking rail.
yeah. It was cool because they had all this old footage of them, like
Yeah.
when they were young, because they've been on America for like I don't even know how long.
Yeah, he takes it, but he goes for some
Oh,
of
here it
the
is right
biggest
here.
shit.
Oh my god. He's just like, cool. What's for lunch? Where are we headed? Yeah, that was brutal. That one hurt watching. That was one of those ones.
You were right there?
No, but just watching
Oh,
the
yeah,
footage.
yeah, I was gonna say,
oh
I
god,
was
if
like-
I was there, I hate seeing that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
I hate seeing that shit. I'm like,
dude,
oh,
that
I gotta
is
get out
fucking
of here.
beast.
On like the like broken curb too.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The way his like legs slapped that curb
yeah.
and then it just
Well, you
shoulder.
should. I'll put a sleep song on there.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, I would say if you're starting with Sleep, you got to go like Dragonaut is like the main one. It's like Dragnout, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was the first Sleep song I ever heard, and I was like, what the hell is this? So
Is that first wait, you named another one. You said
High on Fire.
High on Fire.
Yeah, that was after Sleep. High on Fire actually won a Grammy, I think, 2 years ago for Best Metal Album.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they came up pretty quickly as far as like in the internet era, but they've been around for like 20 years. But that album
So
boosted
yeah,
boosted him into like
2019.
he actually says something really cool in this speech. We should watch this.
Yeah.
He
Well,
says
we're all about getting inspired.
Matt Pike says some really cool stuff in the speech that kind of like resonated with me, just about like why they make music and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's Matt Pike.
Wow, what a trip. I guess first thing I'd like to do is thank these two guys. We never really needed an award for doing what we love. 21 years later, finally got this. Thank you, to the Academy.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. He's like, he's like, we've been doing this a long time. We didn't really need an award for it, but thank you.
I love that. Yeah.
It's thought that was cool.
It's genuine and just keeps things authentic. It's like I do this because this
I
is the
love
thing
it.
I do.
Yeah.
This I love to do
Yeah.
it. Like that's what it's always interesting when I think about like when I see people get worked up about like
Mhm.
Grammys and not getting a Grammy and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
go,
It's like just
It's not for. I
it's
was like,
just
I don't think
some-
it's for the Grammy.
Just some dudes that are deciding. So
Yeah.
like, or a girl, or I don't know, like people
Yeah.
deciding that. Like, why does I don't know? Yeah, why does it matter if they decide you had the best
Yeah.
album?
That's what. Well, is it the public that decides? On
I don't
this?
know. Yeah, I thought it was. I think. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I could
Exactly.
be
Yeah.
completely wrong.
Exactly. But it doesn't even matter. But so wait. Okay. So we'll do
Yeah, High on Fire.
we'll do a High on Fire song.
I saw them once actually live,
Mhm.
and it was them and Power Trip, and it was fucking
damn.
awesome. Yeah, I'm glad I
Man,
got to see Power Trip while Riley was alive.
That's one of the. I don't know. That was a sad thing. And
Yeah.
I would have loved. And but I'm such a geek for live concerts that and. But the blessing is the live footage of Power Trip
Mhm.
is still out there on like YouTube,
Yeah.
and I'll go through and watch those.
Yeah, it was that show was
concerts, but,
insane. It was Power
man.
Trip opening up for High on Fire, and it was just like about as full metal, full
Yeah.
throttle as you can
Mhm.
get. Just it was
Damn.
badass. Yeah, I don't know. I like the first High on Fire album. I feel like maybe that's a good place
Okay.
to start. But there's a song called I think it's called Eyes and Teeth. I think is the
Mhm.
song on the first album. That's a good one.
It's perfect.
Maybe Power Trip too.
Yeah.
Throw
Throw
one
it
on
in.
there.
No, it's called Power.
Yeah.
He said maybe.
Mhm.
Maybe Power. Yeah, no, we'll throw a Power Trip.
Yeah.
We'll throw any fucking Power Trip song on there.
Yeah, Power Trip's awesome. I
Um,
definitely got into them more so after the fact that he had passed away, which bummed me out because
Mm-hmm.
I saw them and I did like Power Trip, but I wasn't, I didn't know every album like
Yeah.
full force, like every song. But
Mhm.
it's weird how life does that. Like you get
It's
into something
very
after
weird,
someone
and then you're
passes
just
because you're
like-
kind of like intrigued in a weird way, which is like
Mhm.
lame. But that was kind of where like I saw it and I was like, oh, I want to dig in more now and like figure out, I don't know, learn more
Yeah.
about this.
And it makes you take that deep dive.
Yep.
All right, so we'll do those. Yeah, that's our playlist.
Maybe
Chappelle and Riley Hawk.
what
You spelled
Power
my
Trip
name
song?
wrong, Casey.
Maybe what's a good power? I don't know. I mean, they're
I don't
all
know.
good.
There's as I say, we'll probably. You can
I
throw
like
any
that
power-
song Brainwave. I think it's like off one of their like demo ones or something.
Like okay.
Brainwave.
We'll do that. We'll do Brainwave.
Yeah.
That's a solid playlist.
Yeah, it's a good.
I'm glad you brought up that album though. The Queens in the Stone.
Oh yeah.
Queens in the Stone Age. Queens
Yeah.
of the Stone Age.
Yeah, I like that album a lot.
That's a fucking great album.
Yeah. I've never seen them.
I
met
have.
Josh Homme before, but I've never seen them play.
That is it's just pure rock and roll.
Yeah.
Pure fucking rock and roll.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, it's cool that a band like that with just, two guitars, a bass, and drums can like become such a success in this modern
And they just fucking
music era. Yeah.
And they
they're
kind of
cool.
just like go up there and they just fucking played. I saw them in 2014, I believe. Yeah, but yeah, it was just. I was like, damn, that was
Respect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, massive
Yeah.
respect. Okay, perfect. All right, man, dude, this was fucking
Cool.
great.
Yeah. thanks for
Anytime you're
having
out
me.
this way, man, or if I'm out that way, like we'll fucking kick it or whatever.
Mhm.
We'll
Take some acid.
Yeah.
I'll take
Go
acid
see
with you.
Rogan and
Yeah.
Chappelle. The other Chappelle.
Like, all right. Well, I mean, jam whatever you want to fucking do.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, no,
that's not my guitar,
I'll
that's
hit you up
my
when I come
guitar.
up and we'll try to roll around at the Baker Boys Park. Then you can get a couple kick turns, kick flips in.
Yeah, a couple kickflips and a
Yeah.
couple 50-50s.
Yeah.
Maybe a 5-0.
Yeah.
maybe-
You should get Cater in here. Have him. I'm curious to see what his
Oh,
music brain is all about.
Dude,
I have
that'd be
no
dope.
idea. I know Cater like pretty well, but I don't know him like super well. I've
Yeah.
sat next to him in the van a handful of times, but never.
well, hey, I mean, he has a spot right there in that fucking chair.
Yeah.
Dude, this is fucking amazing.
Sweet.
Dude, I appreciate you
Yeah. No
writing me
worries.
back and
Yeah.
and being open to coming to sit down with me.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely,
though
yeah.
we don't know each other or whatever.
No, it's like you
know.
said. I like listening to podcasts that kind of delve into people's interests, and this one
Yeah.
seemed like that. So I was like, oh, cool, it'd be cool.
And I always, and I just like to find the root of like,
Mm-hmm.
Why people have gotten to where they are in such a dope way,
Yep.
So I think you, like I said earlier and I've said many a times, I think you have a dope story and
Thank you, yeah.
it's fucking cool to
Yeah,
have you
it's
sitting
it's interesting for sure.
here. Yeah. Hey, motherfuckers. Wait, what camera am I looking at? Oh, November 17th, Tacoma Comedy Club. November 18th, Spokane Comedy Club. December 1st, San Jose Improv. Get those tickets, ChapelleAC.com. Come see me. And then also go see Warish.
Yeah,
You
if
guys are
you're
going to be on
around.
the road. When you guys head out on the 13th?
Yeah, first show's in Denver on the 14th. So
Yeah.
we have an Instagram. So
Yeah,
if you
go to
follow it on
Warish's
there,
Instagram. Search that shit. Go see him live.
yeah, check it
It's
out.
great stuff. So, all right, thank you, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Sweet.